Hi there, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Welcome to Info Hub for Monday, October 1. Residents of Good Hope on the East Coast and Westminster on the west bank of the Marara will soon benefit from the construction of state-of-the-art secondary schools, as the Education Ministry today signed 2 contracts for the school's construction. Alexis Rodney has our first report.
The contracts were signed by the ministry's Permanent Secretary Adel Clark and awarded to Roy Basu and Sons for the Westminster Secondary and BK International for the Good Hope Secondary. They are valued at US $4.5 million and US $4.82 million respectively. Minister of Education Nicolette Henry said it is part of the ministry's move towards modern educational institutions.
These are 2 very important contracts for us, because we're seeing here what we expect would be 2 new secondary schools, and so it is important that we have these done in a way that is modern, it's futuristic in some ways, and certainly meet good practices and standards.
The schools will be furnished with multi-purpose halls, home economics buildings, science and computer laboratories, audiovisual and industrial technology rooms. The school's construction is expected to last for 15 months. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
The government is proud of its achievement in agriculture in Region 5, so said Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu during his address to scores of Region 5 residents on September 28.
At the Region 5 Regional Agriculture and Commerce Expo's opening, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu highlighted that on a national level, the region contributes to 48% of paddy produced, 50% of rice, 28% of pork, beef and other meat, 12% of coconut, and 2.5% of fish.
And our country must not fall in that trap of depending on imports, and to go back perhaps to the vision that was once shared with the nation by Forbes Burnham of having you to have local products being emphasized, to be able to have alternatives rather than being dependent on foreign imports. So this region is carrying out a mission for Guyana, and I want you to feel that this mission is part and parcel of the new policy to make Guyana green, to be able to have Guyana sustainable in food production, so that we do not fall into what has been described as the Dutch disease.
The Prime Minister advised that emphasis be placed on the agriculture sector's expansion, as it will lead to job creation as opposed to solely depending on the budding oil industry. Regional Executive Officer Ovid Morris said that the region could be the driving force in food development and marketing with stakeholder support. President of the Region 5 Chambers of Industry and Commerce, Imran Sakur, added the theme of the event speaks volumes to the potential of the region's agriculture. The region's race, under the theme Sustaining a Green Economy Through Food Security, allocated over 10 booths that showcased various products and services in the agricultural sector, including an art and craft booth by Paradise residents. Also in attendance were Minister of Social Protection Amna Ali, Minister of Social Cohesion, Dr. George Norton, Minister within the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. Karen Cummings, and Minister of Communities, Ronald Bolkan. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjatan is calling on prison service ranks to speak out against wrongdoing. The minister made this charge at a Thanksgiving service in observance of the Ghana Prison Service's 35th anniversary.
Minister Ramjatan was delivering remarks at the 35th Thanksgiving service of the Guyana Prison Service, held at the Cecil Kilkenny Training School, Uzignani's Coast, Demerara. He said that the prison system has seen a surge in incidents of collusion between ranks and inmates. He called for a higher level of integrity among ranks.
The fact that we can go and introspect and say that, I should not have done that, or I should not have seen my colleague do that and not speak up. As I have said on several occasions, silence is violence. We shut our mouths to the wrongdoings, it will occur. So we must speak out.
For 2018, 28 officers have been dismissed from the prison service. 11 were charged for trafficking-related offenses. 12 ranks were interdicted from duty, 9 of whom were charged either departmentally or criminally for trafficking-related activities. Acting Director of Prisons Gladwin Samuels said that the rogue elements of the prison service will sooner or later weed themselves out.
Let them remind themselves that in Guyana we say, time longer than twine. To ensure success in many areas, we need a purpose-driven strategy. This is a strategy that uses purpose to drive, integrate, and evaluate everything an organization does so as to ensure it creates its desired future.
The director implored all officers to carry out their duties with a purpose. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
I got second tower. Yeah. Like a pack now. But where's all these things from this packet?
Hi, mister. That is the new law. Them cigarette manufacturers have to put those images on them packs.
Yeah, but where's all these scornful things they got here, boy?
Because they're showcasing the effects of cigarette. And it also says
smoking is dangerous to your health. I feel like I change my mind.
Let's all work together to prevent cigarette smoking-related illnesses. A message from the Ministry of Public Health with support from PAHO WH.
The church and other faith-based organizations must play a greater role in social cohesion and national unity. This call was made by Minister of State Joseph Harmon while speaking at the 11th anniversary celebration of the Restoration and Life Ministries on Sunday. Here is Stacey Carmichael.
Echoing a charge by President David Granger, Minister Harmon said the church and the government share a common objective of building social cohesion, moral rearmament, and creating equal opportunities for all.
This makes the government and the faith-based organizations natural partners in the fight against racial and ethnic division, discrimination, poverty, crime, domestic violence, and all other social evils that plague our society. Like their church, Apostle, the government strives every day to improve its approach to policy making and implementation.
Efforts, Minister Harmon noted, are geared at providing the good life for all Guyanese since the coalition administration's assumption to office in 2015. The church's role is more important as the country prepares for petroleum production.
Our nation is now preparing for the biggest economic boom in our history, as we are positioned on the cusp of oil and gas production and the revenue that will accrue from that production. The challenge will be greater, and the task to maintain individual and collective spiritual balance will be even harder. I therefore urge Restoration Life Ministries to continue the good fight, to keep the faith, and stay steadfast in the race.
The minister was joined at the service by Minister of Social Protection Amna Ali, Mayor of Georgetown Patricia Chase Green, Chief of Staff of the Guyana Defense Force Brigadier Patrick West, and other dignitaries. The celebration was held under the theme Striving for Perfection. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
A leading Mexican agency is here to share best practices in the oil sector at a two-day workshop. This is another part of collaborative efforts between the government and their Mexican counterpart. Stacey Carmichael tells us more.
The training will provide participants an overview of empirical findings regarding industrial safety and environmental regulation of the oil and gas industry. This is based on a risk management model developed by the Mexican Agency for Safety, Energy and the Environment, ASEA, the main regulator of the Mexican oil industry. Executive Director Carlos de Regules said with the management of over 300 oil platforms, 6 refineries, above 60,000 kilometers of pipeline, and over 100 oil and gas storage facilities, and 4 years of experience in the sector, there is a lot Guyana can learn from.
Since we started operations, 107 contracts have been awarded under our regulations. $200 billion have been committed for future investments in the oil and gas industry, already under the safety and environmental protection regulations that we put out there. 74 companies from over 20 countries have come to Mexico to invest. And I guess our lesson 4 years later is that regulatory certainty is a good deal for industry. This is what we have found out. And we've been working very closely with different stakeholders to produce these regulations.
ASEA has worked with the United States, the United Kingdom, Norway, and other major oil-producing countries and adopted many best practices. According to Mexican Ambassador Ivan Sierra, the company has attracted foreign direct investment to the tune of some $200 billion. Head, Department of Energy, Dr. Mark Bino, described the exchange of information as timely as Guyana works to build a capacity in terms of predictability and regulations.
It's important that as we go forward, while we cannot eradicate risk, we develop the framework in which it can be managed. The course speaks to the fact that it will look at lessons learned. And I trust that we don't only focus on the good lessons. Some of the lessons that stay with us for a lifetime are those that didn't work. That we can also share that which did not work out so well, so Guyana would know what to avoid. Clearly, this collaboration is important, not just externally, but internally.
Also delivering remarks were newly appointed head of the Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. Vincent Adams, and Department of Environment head N.D.B. Schwerz. Minister of Natural Resources, Raphael Trotman, declared the workshop opened. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
As we observe Breast Cancer Awareness this month, the focus this year is on increased availability of treatment and heightened public awareness of prevention. Delicia Haynes was at the official launch of observances by the Ministry of Public Health in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization.
As Breast Cancer Awareness Month of activities kicked off on October 1, PAHO WHO Country Representative Dr. William Adukro urged that more emphasis be placed on providing effective treatment.
I would like to sound a word of caution. I hear a lot of agencies saying we are doing screenings. We are doing a lot of screening. We are screening here, we are screening there, we are screening for this, we are screening for that. Ladies and gentlemen, screening without effective referral and quality management is of no value. If you are going to tell someone they have a condition and you don't give them the assistance, they are going to die earlier. So please, let us do the screening. It's very important, but let's make sure that we also refer them for effective care.
Minister within the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. Karen Cummins, said a strategic plan will be implemented which will see treatment regimens for cancer patients.
The government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Public Health, has begun to explore and implement numerous activities that will seek to curb this cancer epidemic. And some of these activities include appropriate staffing of the Chronic Non-Communicable Disease Unit, allotment of adequate budgetary resources, training of healthcare professionals in the area of oncology, public-private partnerships with non-governmental and non-profit organizations, research and surveys, establishment of an oncology unit at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2018 is being observed under the theme I Have Hope and was launched with a tree wrapping exercise at the Ministry of Public Health's Compound Brick Dam. During this month, the ministry will collaborate with various cancer foundations to spearhead several activities. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
More than 21,000 coastal residents will soon benefit from improved potable water services. Anara Khan has details.
Over the weekend, Minister of Communities Ronald Bolkan visited several sites which are being upgraded as part of the Water Supply and Sanitation Infrastructure Improvement Project. The minister stopped at Sheet Anchor Village, East Kanji, over the weekend for a first-hand look at the works.
The activities here at this location is part of a project that represents the largest investment in the water sector, a project that is designed to increase the production of water and the supply of water to more consumers, and in particular to improve not only the access, but importantly the quality of water.
GWI Program Manager Arshad Yacob said a total of 21,550 residents from Cornelia Ida to Dikindran on the west coast of Demerara will benefit from the project.
The plant is designed for an output final water capacity of 10 million liters per day, and the filters, the storage tank, everything is sized according to that. In terms of meters in installations today, a total of 3,066 meters have been installed, and the projected amount is 5,000.
The four components of the IDB EU $30 million funded project are the construction of new water treatment plants at Sheet Anchor East Kanji Berbice, Diamond East Bank Demerara, and iFlood West Coast Demerara. It also entails rehabilitation and expansion of the Shelter Belt water treatment plant, reducing non-revenue water losses through metering and establishment of district meter zones in the program areas. Other benefits include GWI's institutional strengthening and conversion of existing pit latrines to septic tanks for 1,000 beneficiaries. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
Connect with us on WhatsApp, social media, and our website at dpi.gov.gy. We leave you with your bridge and weather reports. Goodbye.